And yo, welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we're taking a look at another thing we are looking at here, which is a Lego minifigure order. But this is not ordinary Lego minifigure order. This Lego minifigure order was inspired by going to Comic-Con and buying a lot of custom figures, and these were ordered off Lego minifigures online, and you can buy a lot of figures from a lot of different brands. They are not real Lego minifigures. They're custom ones, and they do look very cool. So I'm going to start with some of my favorites here. We're going to start with Seven Deadly Sins is King. This is King from Seven Deadly Sins. He's one of my favorites from Seven Deadly Sins. Other than Ban, Meliodas, and Diane. He is very cool. He has some nice gold printing, and he does have side torso printing. And side leg printing, and some like very small details and very fine details. I don't know, but these are a lot of cool details. They're cheaply made, but have a lot more detail than Lego figures. As you can see by the hood on his back, some like gold like boot bottom bits to his boot, some little dots there. And they make a lot more figures as well. And he comes with a gold spear. He's very cool. Got the anime style face there as well. Got some golden eyes there. Still really cool. I do like him. And moving on to the next one. All these figures were on sale. And I did get them for like 96p each. So it isn't too bad. Keegan got a few as well. And here we are looking at Deku. His hair isn't quite right, but it does look like Deku, and I can tell. Nice arm printing and side torso printing there, which does follow over to the front part of the torso. Some boots, a power blast in green for his like stuff. He has a hood there as well in dark green. Would have been better in this color green, but it's totally fine. I do like his hair, and his face print is very cool. A lot of detail on the shoes as well. There is a lot more detail than a Lego figure. However, look there, it does just sort of cut off. You also do get like spare hands, like in every one of these figures. You get one spare hand, because how they're packaged is the figure, torso, and legs are stuck on, but you got to put in the arms and the hands and the hair. But this is Bakugo here. Looks very cool. Looks very badass as well. With his X on his thing, some grenade printing on his arms. He also has some like side torso printing. He has his little boots and a lot of stuff, and he does go very well with Deku here. Again, he does go very well with Deku. Deku is his good partner. There is loads of other My Hero ones on this site, like Ochako, Suyu, Mina, Endeavor, All Might. But Bakugo is very cool. I do like him. And some of these only have one-sided prints, and his hair is a hard plastic, not a rubber like Lego does. Moving on to the last one from the anime collection here, which is Todoroki. Todoroki is very cool. They got his scar right. They got his hair. He's got fire and ice power blasts. He has his 5 weenies as well, but he only has 2 here. He doesn't have much side printing because he doesn't have much going on with his costume, except that little strap there, which is pretty cool. They only have one-sided faces because they don't really change emotion that much. These main characters here, except Deku. Other than that, I really like these figures. For 96p, it is not too bad to get. Moving on to the Spider-Man collection, we do have the PS4 Spiderman, who does come with this big, massive web blast here, and the little hand thing to hold it. Well, this is the PS4 Spider-Man here. He has a nice PS4 logo on his chest. Some white sort of designs on his hips and on his feet. This one does not have a 3D like side printing, but he does have some nice back head printing, back torso printing, and some back leg printing. Very cool, and I just like the PlayStation Spider-Man suit, and it did come as like a Comic-Con exclusive, so I did decide to buy it here, because I'll never be able to afford the actual one, because it's like £300. And maybe more, I don't actually know. Moving on to the next Spider-Man, which is Sorcerer Spiderman, who is here. He does have this new cape mold. He does have this weird helmet and a black head, but a lot of people use this for the Spider-Man helmet. He has some nice leg printing, torso printing, arm printing there as well, and like built this sort of cape piece, which does look very fancy. I think it's like a mix of Homelander and Spider-Man, or like Doctor Strange and Spider-Man, like the Spider-Man Supreme, which is quite cool and quite interesting. I do like that about this one. Looks very fancy. I did buy quite a few Spider-Man, so don't you worry. We are taking a look at the superior Spider-Man now, who is here. And his print is sort of like 3D. Like, it is all 3D as it is 3D printed onto the figure, not printed. It's like a thing where it goes over it. It does give it that depth and like nice feel to it. It's sort of like shiny and smooth and like rigid at the same time. Because his arms are different, but his head and his torso is sort of printed like that. One eye is a little bigger than the other, but it just adds personality to it, where it could be like confused because their eye shapes do change now, which is quite interesting. And he does come with this big web rope piece. And yeah, I do have a little complaint with his website is that a couple of figures that I ordered didn't arrive, but I was refunded for them, and I was refunded because they refunded me, but they didn't tell me why they refunded me. So I was just confused, and I did miss figures because Kian ordered some. One was missing from Kian, and a couple of them missing from me. I was missing Zombie Spider-Man, Marshmallow, Nova from Marvel, and I don't remember who else it was. But I was missing someone else. But yeah, here he is. He does have a printing of a tail. He does have that Rocket Raccoon headpiece, but with Spider-Man printing on it. He does have some web claws there as well in white. Some nice arm printing, back torso printing, arm printing, torso printing, leg printing with the feet. He is a very cool one. He is Spider Wolf, or like Wolf Spider. I don't know. He's like a cool character where Spider-Man turned into a werewolf. I swear there is a dimension where like all the heroes turn into werewolves. That's a very cool dimension and a cool thing to think about. But seeing as that we are on the Marvel page already, might as well continue with the Marvel trend because the majority of the rest of them are Marvel based. As we have Scream here. I did make a custom of her earlier, but I decided to scrap that one and just buy this one. Because it does look a lot better. She does have this nice yellow hair with some nice back torso printing, arm printing, leg printing, side leg printing as well. And some face printing, which does look quite scary. It does look very cool with the little claws there and everything. And feet. It does look very cool and very interesting. I do like this one. I'm surprised there wasn't other symbiotes. There was Venom and like Carnage, but I already had quite a few of those, so I decided to leave them and just get a couple of symbiotes I didn't have, and the other one I didn't have was this one. So moving on to the next figure, which is Black Bolt here. He is from the Inhumans. He did show up in the Lego game, and he did show up in Marvel Future Avengers, the anime. So I decided to get this one here. It does look very cool. Some nice printing there on the front, nice printing on the back, nice face printing as well with that little U there. He does come with an Infinity Stone in white, I do believe. I don't know why he does. Maybe it's because he's part of the Illuminati. Maybe they're doing an Illuminati collection because he was on the same page as Mr. Fantastic and Doctor Strange. I don't really know, but it was just there. It looks very cool. And I do like it. Moving on to the next one, which is Mr. Fantastic, also following the Illuminati trend, who comes with the yellow Infinity Stone. He has a nice torso print, some elongated legs and arms to show stretchiness, I guess. Nice angry face print, a nice back torso printing, and some silver highlights in his hair. Don't know why they're silver and not grey, but it is still quite cool. I do like them. I do think they're interesting. And yes, moving on to the next load of figures, which is the X-Men. So we're going to start from Mystique. I think her skin is a little bit too of a dark blue, but it's still a good figure. I do like that new use of the Wonder thing with the skull there. Nice back torso printing with some skulls there. Nice front torso printing with the skulls carrying over. And the nice dress as well. I did make a custom of Mystique, but decided to scrap it. I also made a custom of Nova and decided to scrap it, but obviously Nova was one of the ones that didn't arrive, and he was one of the ones I was most looking forward to, which is quite unfortunate. But here, Mystique is nonetheless. I do like her. Pretty cool figure, and I do recommend. Moving on to another X-Man. Don't know how well it fit on, is Iceman. He does have some nice translucent parts here, with the torso and a Statue of Liberty head, with a stud and a little thing. He has some arm printing and back torso printing, but they're quite hard to see. He also has some leg printing there with the X-Men logo. He does come with a surfboard as well, and tracer hair. This is supposed to be like a spiky hand that is seen in the picture. I didn't know it was a Statue of Liberty hair, but it is quite interesting and a nice part usage as well. So there is that. Moving on to the last X-Man. I lied. It is the second to last X-Man, and it is Psylocke. She is a skin from Fortnite, and she is here as well. She was in X-Men Apocalypse, and she does have a translucent purple sword. It's very hard to see, but it is a translucent sword there. She does have some nice side printing, some nice back torso printing, some nice front torso printing. I just knocked off the sword out of her hand and trying to take her hair off. She has some nice torso printing, back leg printing, back. That's something odd to say. She has some nice side printing as well. Nice sword, nice face print. She does look quite happy with herself and a little bit exhausted with those rosy cheeks, but whatever. Other than that, we have a few figures left. We have a Deadpool who did come with a sword backpack, but I decided not to put it on because I do like his back torso printing here. He does also have some leg printing with a gun, some bullets, some boots. And then on the other side, it's guns and bullets and boots. It's exactly the same. He's got some straps on his arms, 2 miniguns, 2 bullet wounds at the front, and a nice head print with some squinting eyes. The straps do continue over to the front, and he does have some shin pads. He is the last of the X-Men, or Marvel characters. I'm not sure if you'd call him an X-Men. I would. And moving on to some of the last figures, I have 2 more here. One of them being the Mask, which is very cool. He is the man in the yellow hat, but not with the monkey. He does have a Tommy gun there, a nice torso print and leg print, which does sort of continue with the trench coat, and it does go on to the back there. He does have some boots, but it does cut off at the side, which does make it a little bit obnoxious, but oh well, I can get it. He does have the yellow hat and the nice face print there, has a nice tie. Really cool. This one was like a impulse one, just to, even it out, because it does look very cool. We also have the last one of mine being Foxy from Five Nights at Freddy's. I think the colours with this one are a little bit off with the pink and the red and the dark red, but he does have some cool printing with some side torso printing, side leg printing, back leg printing, back torso printing, and front torso printing, and a new head mold completely, a little rubber tail, and he does come with a hook, but only 1 hook and 2 of these red hands. I do wish they gave us more hooks because this one is quite loose in his hand. However, I can accept that. He does have some nice head printing as well, with the eyes and the teeth and the little scrapes in his ears, because it is Nightmare Foxy. It's not regular Foxy, and he is my favorite from Five Nights at Freddy's. I do like the fox the most. And yeah, other than that, I don't think I have any more. So other than that, hope you enjoyed. See you on this one. Have a nice day, and goodbye. Stay harmless, stay safe.